Now let's look at from the eyes of a psychologist, from the eyes of an expert, how the expert connects these reports of co-scholastic and career assessment and can help a child or a student or a working professional to make these very informed decisions or help in making understanding what is my personality and how should I then decide my career. Yes, Dr. Jonas, over to you.
Okay, good evening, friends. Respected, I see some principals, professors, and happy parents. I'm happy that you are able to find some time that something to concern about our either biological children or our own students at the institutions where we work. I appreciate your time. Let me start with a quote. There are no successful leaders, only successful habits. If we want to create a successful leaders, we need to create successful habits. Having worked with the youth for the last 15 to 20 years, one thing that we increasingly realize is 80% of all that we do is out of our habits. People do not become successful just like that. It is only, it said, people don't choose their future, they choose their habits, and their habits choose their future. So, with this background, how can a psychology help somebody to make the right career decisions? Generally, when we talk about career choice, we talk about two types of choice. The first one, we see the traditional and the conventional one, which most of us would have chosen. The parents identify for which career you find a good salary or reputation, or sometimes how it will help even in the marriage market, even in the Indian context we see. Okay, so whether I'm going to reduce my dowry for a girl or I'm going to increase my, no, this is a lot of other things. That because working with the PG students, sometimes I ask students, why did you opt for a PG course, 2-year course? Some children very smilingly they say, sir, I can postpone my marriage for 2 years, or it will reduce, or though it is a joke, but then this is how a traditional career. Now, the second option, which Mr. John or Madam Harmeet or Suresh sir, what we are trying to recommend is the second model, which is taken by very very few people. That is identifying one's core competent areas and bringing the career around us. Okay, and today's children are living in the best time of the history. I repeat, today's children are living in the best time of the history. Today, any talent can be converted into a career and into a revenue mode. For example, you can see the YouTubers. Nobody ever thought that being or watching so much of video or creating a video can create more revenue. Okay, so when we say that creating, identifying one's core competent area and developing successful habits around that, I think we should be able to help children to, first of all, to become successful human beings. As a psychologist, I very strongly believe, let's create human beings who are happy people. We don't want them to just to make a living, but to live a happy life. Happy life. Okay, being happy is the most important thing, because working with lots and lots of people, and money is not a problem, but then after some time, when they come to their midlife crisis, majority of them fail only because, not because of the money, but then something else that they have lost it. So you may wonder how I am connecting this with the career. If a person is a happy person, can create a happy career. Generally we say when we go for a trainings, if you are, two types of people we talk about generally. Some type of people who make others happy by their presence, first type of people. Second type of people who make others happy by their absence, right? So whether somebody is happy about my presence or happy about my absence depends on my own personality, and then my own personality is also driven by the type of value system I carry. The type of value system also is reflected in my habits. Now once these basic things are set, then choosing a career becomes easy. Working with a lot of adolescents today, one thing that we increasingly talk about or tell children is two C's that determine somebody's life. One is the credential, like an onion, outer layer. Credential refers to the outer external things what people see, maybe the qualification or the surname or the social capital one has got. All that, it's an outer layer. But after some time, after late 30s, what really helps an individual to sustain one's professional success is the internal one. That is what we call it a character. So therefore, dear friends, as a principals, as a parents, or as a headmasters, or I don't know, as a career counselors, I see some L&D trainer, freelance trainers. What I see is the helping individuals to develop that inner layer of the onion, that is to develop the character formation becomes very important. The character formation is generally, the Robin Sharma model, which we say is about 66 days. Okay, helping individuals to identify at least 3 habits in the morning, routines, rituals. 3 ritual in the morning, 3 ritual before they go to bed. Okay, and practicing it, you know, so religiously for 66 days, and we have seen a lot of improvement in some of our clients. Okay, so this is one thing. Having said this, okay, as a psychologist, how life skills, based on my little experience and research with the people, how life skills can help to reduce stress. That was the whole research about. Now we are linking it with the career guidance, how helping individuals these to develop these 10 core life skills. As all of us know, World Health Organization has recommended 10 skills as life skills, which are called core life skills, which help people to do things. Number one is help them to live a happy life. One is to help them to share a happy life. Second one, to become more adaptive. Today, children, we find less adaptation. Adaptation. People are not able to adjust, and then that helps them to get into a lot of issues. Okay, so can I just show some slides on this life skills about I had. I just
Yes, sir.
thought I'll show you about this 10 life skills. How do I share? It's a big presentation. I was just, this is a presentation I had recently been to one of the colleges. So I'll quickly, move around, whether it is a Bill Gates or a Mark Zuckerberg or a Steve Jobs, all these people, if you really look at it, can anyone say what's common in all of them? All of them are school dropouts. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Okay, that's not the story, moral of the story. So again, few people, all these people, scientists, Walt Disney, Albert Einstein, all these people, when you look at, what's common in all of them? Age also. Today, our children who are living in the best time of the history, when we give them all that, why do some children lose track or lose their life or what of other things? Maybe the things that we suggest is what we call it life skills. Some of you would have already had some exposure, as because today it is very compulsory in CBSE syllabus, also in corporates. Today we are talking about corporate life skills. Okay, so it talks basically about 10 skills, and the first one is what we call it uh, uh, Professor Harmeet explaining each of these skills, will it add value? Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, please briefly doing each skill and
Okay.
how does that connect to the career
Okay.
choices?
Fine. So the first one is self-awareness, is basically knowing one's own strength and weaknesses and opportunities and threats. Not only that, ability to connect one's negatives with their, the plus points. Because today people are so fragile. Either they are appearing to be very happy, or they completely get into a lockdown mode or completely depressed. So ability to balance, more than that, knowing one's own strength and weaknesses is going to help. That's one thing, we call it a mother of life skills. It helps students to identify which is their core area, and based on that, how they can center their career around that. The second one, what we talk about is empathy. Empathy is though we think that it may not be directly related to the career, a person who is empathetic is able to forgive others. Person who is also able to forgive others is also able to forgive oneself. Person who is able to forgive oneself is able to look at the larger picture of life. What we call it a emotional agility, not emotional rigidity. Because today people are, one of the reasons why many people are not able to forgive themselves is emotional rigidity. They have too many ifs and buts, but that automatically comes and affects their career choices. And you know, as a happy parents, you will also know it. You would have seen some people the same attitude of temporariness in life. It also affects their own personal life of temporariness. That's why increasing number of family issues, people looking for all sorts of extramarital issues. As a family counselor, I can tell you a number of stories where people who are very intelligent, successful, but then their thinking has not helped them to use their intelligence. So one area that they can concentrate today's children is empathy, ability to empathize with others, not just a sympathetic attitude, but empathetic involvement with the individuals. The third skill that we are talking about is creative thinking. Creative thinking helps people to look at things creatively, looking for a multiple solution for a single problem. Nobody makes a lock without the key. Everybody has, every problem has a solution, and every also solution may also lead to some other problem, as we are seeing it in the current situations. So ability to find out, identify more and more creative solution that is needed for today. As John sir was talking about, some of the professionals, they are very successful, but then when it comes to real life situations, they find it very difficult. This is one skill that can be developed by the individuals or the students. The next skill we are talking about is critical thinking. Friends, imagine these are all the 10 skills promoted by World Health Organizations and then suggested very strongly all over the world, and to help people to teach students so that they are able to develop successful habits in their lives. So this is a critical, able to question why not? Why don't I change it? Why not this can be? So this helps them to look at a situation critically, and especially, and today the children, they're like the paupad. They look very colorful, happy, but when small minor decision, personal decision comes, they are not able to look at things look at things easily, and then they are not able to make the right choices. And the next skill that we are talking about is decision making skills. From the time we are born till we die, we keep making decision. From the time we get up till we go to bed, we keep making decision. Okay, well, small decision, big decisions. Success of our life is depending on the quality of decisions we make, big or small. And decision making is a habit. So how do we learn to make the right decisions in life? Because most of the times, till they reach adolescence, most of the decisions are made by the parents. But once their career comes, career choice comes, many children are not able to handle themselves, or even once they get in life, and then making decision becomes very, very difficult. So this is one skill that can be helped people to make the right decision. And we are also talking about the, what we call it, a problem solving skills. Okay, ability to look at problem from a different dimensions. Okay, ability to prioritize the issues. And problem solving involves a lot of small and big decisions, making small decisions in life. This is one skill. And another skill that today we are talking about is communication. Now, communication, there are two dimensions we talk about here. One is communication, what we call it interpersonal communication. Generally, we talk about. The second one is intrapersonal communication. One's ability to communicate one's own self, one's ability to correspond with oneself. Fortunately, many a times what happens to youngsters is they are very successful in their external communication, but when it comes to their own internal communication, they take extremes. Either they are too happy or they are too unhappy. Either they develop guilt feeling, or they blame others. So not able to look at things objectively. And many a times, most of our understanding of communication refers to one's as parents, as a teachers, as a professors. All of us know that ability to listen is much more needed today. Leaders or readers, and a lot of people are not willing to develop this attitude of listening. So developing successful leaders who can listen. One of the qualities of a leader is ability to listen to the subordinates. So this quality will be really needed, and I think, one area that we need to really focus. And the next skill that we are talking about is IPR, interpersonal relationship skills, ability to manage a relationship. As I already said, today's children are very quick, and many a times whenever children are brought to me for counseling. I don't know, more than 50% of the cases, what I see is problem is not with the children, problems are related with the parents. Parents have got a lot of psychosocial issues, relationship issues, and that directly affects children. And many times we keep try treating the symptoms, not the real sickness. Problems are with the parents. So at one point of time, as a counselors, when we tell them, some are able to take, and then many of us are not able to take. I'm sure this will also be your experience as teachers and principals when you deal with the children who are in difficult circumstances, children who are not able to be, the so-called difficult child for a teacher in a classroom. Okay. And the ninth skill that we talk about is the emotions, coping with emotions. Success of our life again depends on ability to interpret emotions. Emotions are data, simple data, raw data. Every emotions are common. All of us may get angry, but then how do we respond to anger? Okay. Or I don't know, situations are common, emotions are common. How do we respond, react to different types of emotions? So that is one thing needed for today's children. Either they are too happy or they are too unhappy. So both are extremes. Extremes are always dangerous in life. One of the things that we talk to people on in life skills is do not always go for extremes. Be stable. Be ability to balance. And the last one is your ability to manage stress. Okay. Again, as I said today, I don't know, small at very young age they get into a stress, and the stress keeps on continuing. Today we find increasing number of senior citizens trying to commit into their life. Then it's very funny. Okay, so stress can come at any time and any time. I mean, daily life, and then especially as a working professionals. Today we find a lot of them as I think John sir was or Suresh sir was talking about what happens when they go to their midlife crisis. They are not able to deal with the small issues. They get into issue after issue, and then finally I don't know what all problems they get into. Friends, helping people to get a good mark is not a big thing today, as all of you know that. Put little fear in them, definitely they will study. Getting mark is not a problem, getting a career is not a problem, but are they enjoying their life? If they are not enjoying life, and all of us have children, you all of us know that when they are small children only they need us. When we do not give them what they want at right now, and later on anyway they take it from us, and then many a times they get into a lot of unwanted issues and create stress after stress, and then makes into that. So these are the 10 skills that which I thought I would really talk about it. And then there are a lot of healthier way of developing. When we have these 10 skills, students are able to professionals are able to handle the beneficiaries, customers, subordinates better. They are able to make a better career choices. That's what I feel. Okay, they are able to sustainable employment. At least for our generation, most of us we know about the lifetime employment. And today people have got, I think Professor Armit also will tell you, minimum three jobs in their entire career life, 30, 40, 30, 35 years. At least minimum three jobs they have. And plus dealing with the workplace ethics. Okay, one of the things that we talk about, even in a gender sensitization, any amount of posh, any amount of POXO is not going to help as long as people do not change their attitude. Today we are talking about this Nirbhaya case. Okay, we also equally feel sympathy for these four people who were not brought up properly by their own parents. What we call them, it emotional what do you call it, moral orphans. When parents are not there with them, giving them the right value system, they become a moral orphans. And today I think entire society has to take the responsibility. And later on when it comes again, it affects their marriage life. People who are successful in life skills, they are able to handle marital conflicts, premarital, postmarital issues better. So we can prevent violence and above all give a higher productivity. So these are the few things I thought I'll tell you about, the how life skills can help individuals to make the right career choices. Because if children are given, I'm sure many schools have already started, and we see a good progress in CBSE schools, some of the schools, or even training the teachers, the TOT training of trainers on life skills would definitely help them to impart life skills, or even to the parents, working professionals, and to understand their own children better. because it is always better to prepare and prevent than to repair and repent. Okay, we are what do you call? We are supposed to prepare the children, not repair the children. So as a psychologist, this is what I can share with you. I mean, if there are any questions, then I can take it towards the end of the presentation.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Richard. Um, so one quick question that I would like to ask you, at what age should we assess our life skills, and is there, when you said repair, or should be, there's a preventive mode as well. So can someone develop one's life skills through a formal training?
Yes. That's what I said, Professor Armit. Today we are living in the best time of the history. Any habits can be developed. Any habits can be developed. Okay,
Hmm.
and James Clear's book on atomic habits. If you get a chance, please read that book, James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. He talks about any habits can be developed. Any habits can be developed. 80% of what we do is purely out of our habits. When we say habits, it's creating an identity for, do I have a positive image or a negative image? Okay, so how do I create my identity? By developing a good habits. So these 10 skills, any age we can develop it, as long as people are able to understand what is what. I remember, working with some schools even from 6th standard onwards, 5th standard onwards, anybody at any stage, and life never stops teaching us. So earlier the better, so that the rest of the life will be more peaceful and happy.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Uh, Dr. Richard, we have two questions here.
Yeah.
One question is how to create successful habits.
Okay. Right. The second one.
And the second one is, again, connected to it, is how to develop soft skills. But
Okay.
a specific case that this person has been working, giving competitive exams for last 7 years, but has not been able to get through, and wants to know now what to do with his to make
Okay.
a better
Okay.
career.
Fine. We'll take one by one, madam. The first one, how do we develop? There are two D's. Generally, we talked about people about two D's that determine help people to develop habits. The first one is determination. Determination helps you to start habits. Okay, first D. Second one is discipline. Discipline helps us to continue any habits. Okay, that's what I said. We can start with the simple rituals. Okay, 5 habits at night, 5 habits at morning. As soon as we get up, okay, how many of us we take our mobile as soon as we get up? Okay, recently we have just completed a research in collaboration with NIMHANS on social media addiction among the youth. That during the research, what we found out was it's more than the youth, the grown up, the elder ones are more addicted today. Very interesting. Okay, and how much of screen time do children spend? I'm just giving an example. So the first thing, as soon as I get up, what is the gap that I can have from the time I get up till I touch my mobile? One of the things that we see is that as soon as I touch social media, whether it is a WhatsApp, Facebook, or a Insta or Snapchat, whatever it is, my social anxiety increases. So as soon as I get up, my, what do you call, with the social, what do you call, um, social anxiety, it puts me in the complete entire day gets over. The first 1 hour, what we call it a golden time, morning 1 hour, as soon as we get up, the golden time. I think that should be spent only for ourselves, not for anybody. Unless we work in an organization where I need to be on email on 24/7. Okay, so one thing that we can talk to children is developing a habits is, let's identify. I'll put it very simple. Identify 5 habits that you would like to develop. Morning, because morning is the best time to develop
I
habits.
think there is some network issue, but yeah, when I and Dr. Richard work with students, with children, with teenagers, with adults. The whole idea is to understand there are a list of certain habits which they have to give away, and there is a list of certain habits which they have to imbibe in their system. And largely with teenagers, these days we look at the social media habit. So, how are they working with their mobiles? What is the routine that they are following? Do they have a timetable approach? So, and within timetable, each child responds differently. Few children look at timetable day in, day out basis. Few children would like to look at a timetable on a weekly basis. A few children look at on a task basis. So based on each child response and comfort, we bring in these habit formation and habit development and task with them. The whole idea is a global personal effectiveness coach has mentioned, we cannot hire someone to do our push-ups. So uh, the whole idea is that we have to enable our children, our young adults, to learn how to do their push-ups, and these habits is the first mode of doing that. So, Ms. Shobha, where you are asking in terms of specifically in terms of teenagers, yes, we look into one, we develop these skills and these habits for the future so that they become self-driven and they take self-management. But to bring in that structure, we definitely look into the past, where how has the child, what has been the upbringing of the child, how has the child been working in different areas, right from hobbies to academics to responding to certain emotions. We look into all these things and then we build a habit development chart. And why this is important again, the relationship, when we saw these coscholastic skills, the best part of the tool is that we can find out first of all that at what level these different skills are, and then we can, based on the uh, excellence level of a skill, or based on the uh, low area to development of a skill, we can connect to the specific habit formation chart. When this happens, the career development, the career planning, the self career decision making is built in that system. So it's a kind of a marathon. We prepare the child for a marathon, and uh, we say that okay, the child will take 3 to 6 months to develop this, to respond to this, based on how the system, overall system, the whole team is working. And that team, it's not, the child is not alone, the young adult is not, the family, the child, the teachers, the educators, as well as the career experts. So yes, Dr. Richard, I was just expanding your thoughts there, where how do we look at the development of any other yes.
Yes, and we see a question. Better option for me, business. We strongly recommend, Mr. Praveen, you take up a career aptitude test. Okay, the test tells us, analyzes personality, and suggests what would be the ideal. And I'm sure the report also shows about what are the careers to be avoided. Then from there, I think we can take it forward.
So also when we are thinking on, or also when we are looking at how should a child make informed career decisions, that major role is played by the thinking pattern or the thinking skills there. And we saw that in the report, these thinking skills rank highest, right? The number of skills are more when we looked in that in the report. So all these skills together play an important role in understanding oneself, in personal and professional development, and in making career choices at different stages. We, as Dr. Richard said, minimum three careers largely we are seeing that people are looking at, right from different services to different domain expertise to getting into entrepreneurship. All these are there, and also developing oneself for the unknown future. That's the key time required skill, that one, how does one prepare oneself, keep on learning and prepare oneself for the unknown future. We don't know what jobs are going to remain and what jobs are going to take would be taken over by robots, and what jobs we will be able to do ourselves. So there the role of empathy, there the role of self-awareness, there the role of critical and creative thinking, and there the role of how am I managing my emotions when I'm analyzing all this, finding solutions to it. These problem solving skills will become the key to making making that career choices. And in between all this, the bridge is continuous learning. We have co-scholastic skills, we have life skills on one side, and the other side of the bridge we have career planning. So in between the bridge is learning. Am I a continuous learner? Should I become a continuous learner? And how should I become a continuous learner? That bridge uh, is basically made with the help of developing one's life skill and understanding how will I respond to the changes that are happening in the external environment, so that I make my own personal career choices.
And just to add to ma'am, today many parents when they come to me for career counseling, one of parents I'm really worried about what's going to happen to my child after 10th, 12th, or he doesn't want max or he's avoiding max when he comes to class 11. Can he really become successful without knowing ability to deal with the numbers? So one thing that we increasingly keep telling parents is that need not panic, need not be so much worried. Let us make them develop successful, strong habits, characters. When we are able to develop that, I'm sure they can be successful in any career. Instead of just focusing on the external layers outside, I would strongly recommend let's focus more on the internal one, that is ability to withstand any situation. Because today, problem is not because we are people are not able to get job. People are getting job. People are becoming successful. Increase. In fact, their salaries are so high to the parents. But then what happens is they are not able to enjoy without guilt feeling. Okay, more pleasure seeking than looking for the real happiness. I think life skills or ability to deal with one's own emotions will and plus a small problem immediately they are thinking that that's the end of the world. They don't forget, they don't think that it's only the bend or the end. So I think helping children, today's children, helping them to withstand. Today we are also talking about frustration tolerance, which means the ability to tolerate frustration, especially either people have got one child or two children, they are not able to.
Yes,
Am I
Sanjay.
there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So frustration tolerance is very, very low. Helping individuals to tolerate frustrations will help them to live a happy life. Then any career is going to be not going to make a big difference. I'm sure they would really live a happy life and enjoy life and be more useful life for others. Today, we need people who wants to be concerned about others. Why I am saying is that all this, let's not underestimate the role of all these qualities in one's own career choices. Okay, because as a professor, counselor, what I see is, children are taught to be more and more selfish. I think that should really come out. This message has to reach parents. I think teachers are the link between the parents and the school. I think we have a bigger role to play. So once we are able to do that, I'm sure any career is going to give them a happiness. Okay. Any
So hope everybody had a key learning from this session. The whole purpose
great?
is,
Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
yes, the purpose has been to understand what is our role as parents, to understand what is our role as educators, and how can we build an ecosystem for our young adults, for our teenagers, for our children, so that they are able to do the fishing themselves. They are able to know how to take those decisions, when to take those decisions, be happy that uh, the decision that I took today, I'm happy about it, I am responsible for it, I own it, and I will live with it. And that's the whole purpose of um, building the life skills, developing the co-scholastic skills, understanding at what level these skills am I at, and how that will impact my life. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. If you have any specific question which you want to talk or you want to discuss, you can email us. You can